All right, everyone. Thank you for waiting. We're going to get things started with Duncan McGuire, and then we'll have Oscar Pareja. Duncan, if you want to get us started with your overall thoughts on the game, please.
Um, yeah, obviously, I think we're obviously disappointed with the tie. Given that they went down to 10 men very early. Better chances. I definitely had my chances. I missed two. I think should have scored, but yeah, we were attacking a lot, and we feel like we definitely should have won the game, and we're very disappointed ourselves. But we're gonna have to take that 1 point on the road and take it home to Chicago on Saturday.
We'll go to Austin David.
Hey, Duncan, just being able to get back on the score sheet, how important was that for you and just kind of your overall feeling and confidence as you're heading into this part of the season just to finally get back on the score sheet?
Yeah, definitely having scored a little bit. Obviously for anyone to get on the score sheet, it's very important. And myself, I feel, it gives me a lot of confidence. Once I find one, I feel like the rest just comes. So I was definitely happy to get back on the score sheet today.
We'll go to Michael Citro.
Hey, Duncan, thanks for your time. I just wonder if you could tell us what you saw in that play where Torres found you in the box for the goal.
Yeah, it was a good ball over by, I forgot, but I saw Faku was in a good spot to head it back, and there was a little bit of space front post, so I had to make myself available, and Faku, put it right where I needed it to be, and luckily got it across the goalie back post. So yeah, it was a good team goal.
We'll go to Mike Gramajo.
Thanks, Jackie. Duncan, obviously, you just mentioned it was you guys are disappointed because you guys should have felt you could have walked out with a victory. How's the team feeling right now? Obviously, this is probably the first big stretch that you guys are winless 5 games now. What's the mentality right now in that locker room, considering and what you guys are going through, and what positives can you kind of take from this game going into now Chicago on Saturday?
I'd say we're finally showing from my point of view, I think we're showing good attacking, kind of how we did last year. I know even before they were down to 10 men, we were getting good sequences going forward, and I feel like we were, starting to look like ourselves a little bit more like last year from my perspective. And I think, once we get that win or 2 wins in a row, I think it's gonna be I think the season's gonna turn for us.
Go back to Austin.
Duncan, just with the chances created in the second half, a lot of them are coming from that left side and crossing in. How did you kind of combat the very low block that Charlotte had gone into in the second half since they were down a man? What was kind of said in the locker room on how to kind of try and beat that?
Nothing's really said. I think we just did a little tactical change, throwing more numbers towards the upper middle part of the field and their defense, trying to put numbers on their back line, to allow space at the top of the box for us when they play that low block. So I think just throwing a few more numbers forward since they were down a man really allowed us to utilize the spaces on the width and on the top of the box.
Last two will go to Michael, and then wrap up with Mike again.
Duncan, as the striker, you're up top. You have a pretty good view looking back at what's going on. Just curious to get your take on why Charlotte was able to get so many really good transition opportunities tonight.
Yeah, I think they were good at winning the initial first ball, and it looked like, in the 50-50 challenges, maybe they'd get the better of the challenges for the most part, and they made the most of those opportunities. So I think maybe just, we need to do a better job at winning the first balls and being there on the second balls, and maybe stopping the counterattack with a tactical foul, maybe a little bit more, but that's what I think they did well.
And last one with Mike.
Thanks, Jackie. Just following up on Michael's question, but on the other side of the field, Oscar's always kind of said that the team's kind of lacking that final punch when it comes to attacking. Obviously, you guys scored 2 goals today, but what have you kind of been able to see from not only yourself but the other attackers in regards to why you guys have been kind of struggling on that final detail in the field? Not only in this game, but probably the last few games as well.
I just think it's the final pass in the box, whether it's a quick one too, or the last cross. I think it's more recently just been a little bit off. I had a few of them today, Lucho, that were a bit off. I think just the final pass is what's really stopping us from becoming very successful in the final third.